Hello and welcome to Richland Spotlight, an ongoing program where we talk with city employees and shine some light on hot topics, events, and projects happening in our city. Today we are excited to welcome City of Richland Parks and Recreation Planning and Capital Projects Manager Phil Pinard to the program. Phil, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks. You bet.
You bet. Right on. Well, we brought you on the program to talk about specific service projects that are carried out in our city. Enlighten us as to what an Eagle Scout project is.
Well, an Eagle Scout project is one of a number of requirements that a scout has to accomplish to receive the rank of Eagle Scout. So he's required to do a leadership project either for a church or some type of civic organization.
Oh, okay. And you just mentioned it, so they don't necessarily have to partner with the city, but once they choose to, and we're so grateful that they do, choose to partner with the City of Richland to complete their Eagle Scout, what involvement does the city have in selecting the project that they take on?
Well, it depends. I keep a list of potential projects, just in our normal everyday business. We look at something and go, oh, that'd be a good, service project for someone, so I'll add it to the list. And then I'll usually get a call from a boy who's looking for an Eagle Scout project. I'll send him the list and say, here's a list I have and these projects may qualify because they have a process they have to go through to get it approved. And then they'll contact me and say, I'm interested in this one. And normally we'll meet on site, go over it in some detail, and then they can present it to their scout leader for approval.
Okay, awesome. And we challenge you to dig through your files and share with us and the viewers some of the most recent Eagle Scout projects. And the stage is yours. So what have the Scouts been up to recently?
We work with a lot of Eagle Scouts. I went back through some of our previous years and we've had as many as 27 Eagle Scout projects completed in 1 year. So they've been up to a lot of different projects with a wide range of projects. And one that we have under construction right now, and probably the biggest undertaking we've had, is Ryan Warren is building a restroom at Stevens Park for us. And it's modeled after the one at the skate park. And currently the building's enclosed. Doors were just recently put on. We're waiting for roofing and finished plumbing and hopefully have it completed by the end of August, which is this month. And then we'll have a functioning restroom, due to an Eagle Scout project. Some other ones that we've had are, we recently had a scout take 4 sets of bleachers that were at the old Little League field at Columbia Playfield, completely refurbish them, put new seats on them, and totally repaint them so they look almost brand new, and those now have been moved out to the new Little League fields at Claybell Park. Some other projects that we've had recently, just out here in front of City Hall, we had a scout take out the old landscaping, roses that were, kind of ending their life expectancy, and redo it into what we're calling kind of a low maintenance, where there's just grasses, where we don't have to come in and meticulously prune and do things like that. We've had, I'm going to say, 10 to 15 Boy Scouts do the landscaping along Keene Road Trail. All that rock that's been placed between the fence and the trail. Numerous, scout projects as well as other organizations that have been involved in that. We had 3 scouts build the Badger Flats Trail up at Trailhead Park. So if you're not quite up to the challenge of climbing Badger Mountain, there's some other hiking opportunities there for you. Then we've had a number of scouts, and just recently we've had scout paint the 3 picnic shelters at Badger. We've also had them paint picnic shelters at Y Park, and a number of our picnic end up at Leslie Groves, the 2 wood shelters there.
Nice. And it's not just the male scouts getting in on the action. I guess this year we actually have a female scout, if you will, completing a project.
We do. She actually completed it, I believe, last year or the first part of this year. She put in 3 basalt columns at the nature playground at Goethals Park with some interpretive signs on them relating to local birds in the area. So, and we hope to continue that, either with some other scout projects to where we have kind of a Stonehenge look there at the nature playground with some interpretive signs on them.
Wow, so certainly some amazing projects and work carried out by our youth, and I wanted you to cite some specific examples, and this question's really derived from Ryan's Stevens bathroom, because this is just absolutely amazing. But I'm interested to learn what sort of help the Scouts receive from city staff to complete these projects.
Okay, and it varies on the project. So, and unfortunately, a lot depends on what we have for budget. You know, so all of these projects require an Eagle Scout project has to actually, you have to build something. So it can't be just, you know, go in and mow grass or do some maintenance. So, and usually when you build something, it does require money. So what we do is we work with each individual applicant and determine, you know, whether it's, if it's a project that we've budgeted for or have budget for, we will help them as much as we can, but I tell every scout to go out and try to get donations. You know, go out in the community. If you're looking for, you know, lumber, you can go to these types of stores. If you're looking for other material, here's some good sources of that. If they can't, then we will help them out as much as we can with the material that's needed for their project. So if we took the restroom at Stevens Park and Ryan Warren's project, so he applied for a park partnership program application, and through that process received $5,000. The city paid for the building permit. Other than that, everything else has been through volunteer labor and donations that he has received. So if you took let's say it's a $100,000 restroom, the city's invested $5,000 of city money in that, and that's it.
Wow.
So it just depends on the project. And you know, all the rock for the Keene Road project we bought because we had it budgeted as a project. Again, we saved money on having to hire a contractor, you know, to do the work. So it takes our dollars and just spreads them out, you know, and helps us accomplish more work than we wouldn't have had the opportunity to accomplish.
Yeah, and this went right into my next question. Is I want to ask you to describe how these projects benefit the city of Richland and its residents.
Okay, a lot of the projects our crew wouldn't have time to do, or they'd be done. You know, we'd fill them in. Maybe it would take us 2 to 3 years to get to it. You know, so it saves us money. Again, the placing the rock along Keene Road saved us from having to hire a contractor to do it. That money then can be reinvested in other projects. It creates a sense of ownership from the Scouts to where they take pride in our city, and hence, you know, it cuts down on some of the, you know, if you have pride in your city, you're not out doing things that we would just as soon not have people doing in our city, such as graffiti and things like that. Every Eagle Scout project, there's probably 20 to 30 Scouts involved in each project, or people, let's say. Most of them are Scouts. So if you took that number, there's that many people now that have a new investment in the city, and they're out saying to their friends, hey, I did that, you know, don't mess it up type thing. So it creates a good sense of ownership and pride in the community. And again, it's projects that we wouldn't get to. We're beautifying the city. We're creating little things that help make our parks look better, provide more amenities in the park.
Well, thank you, Phil, for shedding some light on Eagle Scout projects and the amazing things the youth of our city are doing. If you would like more information on what it takes to partner with the City of Richland for an Eagle Scout project, feel free to email our guest, Phil Pinard, at the email address at the bottom of your screen. I'm Mark Ingham. Thanks for joining us on Richland Spotlight.